Hello, everyone. I'm thrilled to welcome you all to the Tips and Bricks podcast. We'll be discussing all things Lego and sharing some of the community's best tips and tricks. My name is Alex, and I'm the founder of Tips and Bricks, and this is our pilot episode, which means you're going to meet myself and our three other regular hosts. So we've got Bethany, Clay, and Evan. Let's say hello to all of our hosts. Bethany, we'll come to you first. How are you doing today?
I'm doing great. It's a nice hot summer day here in Ohio.
Excellent. Clay, how about yourself?
I am having a wonderful day, probably a hotter summer day here in Georgia, but I won't compete with you, Bethany.
Brilliant. Last but by no means least, Evan, how are we doing?
Doing great. There's AC in my apartment, so I have no idea what the temperature is.
Fantastic. Okay, so you might know Tips and Bricks already from Instagram. We're a group of Lego lovers who post daily tips and tricks for building custom Lego models. So building Lego models without instructions. So I started the blog back in 2017 as I saw the amazing builds online and really wanted to improve my own skills, but also share that journey as well. And nearly 6 years later, we've built up a team of 23 contributors, and Evan, Bethany, and Clay are all part of the Tips and Bricks team.
So we wanted to expand what we do at Tips and Bricks beyond our daily posts. We've already been innovating with new things like Instagram Reels or our Patreon, but we're very excited to bring our tips to you in this new podcast form.
Each episode, two of us will be joined by a guest from maybe our team or perhaps the wider Lego community. We'll tackle a question of the week, discuss some tips around custom building, or even other aspects of Lego or the community. And we'll play some games as well.
The games are definitely going to be my favorite. We're going to have some really fun games that you can play along with at home, like Guess the Part or our new game, Make It, Mod It, Mock It.
Through the podcast, we hope you'll get to know the team behind Tips and Bricks and overall have a great time with us as we talk about all things Lego. Before we go any further and get started with our exciting first segments, let's take a moment to introduce ourselves properly. Clay, let's go ahead and start with you.
All right. So I'm Clay. Like I mentioned earlier, I live in Georgia, which is the southeast of the United States. I currently teach college composition online, and I also do webinar production. I joined Tips and Bricks in 2022, toward the end of the year, mainly as a DEIB staff. So we do a lot of diversity, inclusion, equity, and belonging topics here on the blog. And then I also make some regular posts and some set reviews as well. Some of my favorite themes that are current would probably include ideas. I also am a huge champion of the friend sets, which I feel like a lot of AFOLs are really falling in love with lately. All right, Bethany, you want to tell us a little bit more about you?
Absolutely. So as I mentioned earlier, I'm from Ohio and I teach online Lego classes for kids, which is just like the best thing in the world that I get to do. I'm also a mom to two T-fuls, T fans of Lego. So the fact that my kids have now transitioned into loving Lego as much as I do is fantastic. I don't think they're going to end up having any dark ages. My favorite themes include friends and ideas. I mostly serve doing contributor posts, but I'm also working on the new beginner series and I'm helping head up conventions. So if you see us Tips and Bricks at a convention, come over and say hi. Evan, let's go to you next.
That's so cool, Bethany, that your kids are also fans of Lego. I think that's just such a privilege and a treat that you get to share that with them.
Isn't it?
Well, my name's Evan. I joined the Tips and Bricks team with Clay and Bethany in 2022. I am from New York City. I work as a curator at a gallery in Chelsea, the neighborhood full of art galleries. And for Tips and Bricks, I'm a contributor also. So I'm helping Bethany with the beginner series. Some of my favorite themes are Disney, the botanical line. I've also gotten into Star Wars more recently, though I'm definitely not as much of a super fan as some of the people in the blog, as you will probably come to find out. I'll turn it back over to you, Alex.
Thanks, Evan. So my name is Alex. As you maybe can tell from my accent, I'm the odd one out. I'm from the UK, and I currently live in London and work as a project manager in the construction industry. My favorite themes are Star Wars, because I just absolutely love the films. Also the Marvel theme as well, but more recently I've been getting into themes like ideas because I really love seeing how AFOL's ideas can just be turned into actual real life sets. That's really exciting. I now manage the team on a daily basis, but I still make the occasional blog posts, especially some set reviews. Recently reviewed some friend sets. Overall, I just do some other background tasks like scheduling posts, assigning tasks to the team, but also really fun new initiatives such as this podcast. Now that we've gone to know everyone a little bit more, let's move into our first segment. Okay, so for our first game of the week, it's going to be Guess That Part. And for this very fun game, I have a few specific clues to a few specific Lego parts in mind. I'll provide up to 4 clues for our hosts, and they're going to do their best to be the first person to guess that part just based off the clues I provide. And you can play along at home if you'd like to, see if you can beat the other hosts, and in future episodes, our guests as well, and let us know how you do. So how it's going to work is all of our hosts are going to have their own buzzing sound. So when they think they know the answer, they're going to buzz in and they can guess up to 1 time per clue. So Bethany, let's hear your buzzing sound. Clay, let's hear yours.
Hey!
And Evan, what's yours? Fantastic. Okay, is everyone ready to get started?
I'm
We're ready.
Yes.
Hey, let's go. So hopefully, I don't want to embarrass anyone here, but we're going to start with a nice easy one. The very first clue we're going to start with is this everyday part was released in 2012 and has been featured in over 1,200 sets to date. So it's a very common part, released in 2012 and released in over 1,200 sets to date. So even though it's not been out, just over a decade, it's coming in a lot of sets.
Yeah, that's 100 sets a year.
Yeah. 2012 is definitely when I was getting even more back into the hobby, but but isolating a part that would have been new that year, I don't know.
Yeah, maybe it could be like one of the botanical parts that they come out with, like one of those like leaf parts.
Oh, yes, the plant parts.
Mhm.
Any
Hmm.
thoughts from you, Bethany?
No, I can't
No.
remember back that far.
Well, let's go on to our second clue. That might shed a bit more light on the part. Okay. So this part, it comes in 3 colours, and the average price of the orange colour is only 8p. But the green one is actually a lot more rare, and that's actually £4.64 per part, according to Brick.
Hey!
Okay, well, I think all those buzzers went off then.
Yeah.
So
We all figured this one out.
I feel like Bethany, I heard you first. So what do you think the part's going to be?
It's the brick separator.
Mhm.
No, is
Nicely.
it? Is it?
Correct. Yeah, you
Oh,
got it.
shoot.
Correct.
I thought you were saying no. I was like, what?
Yeah, that would have
Okay.
been
Oh my
shocking.
God. Imagine all those fingernails before 2012.
Well, they did have brick separators before.
Mm.
Yeah, they were our fingernails, Evan.
Wow, amazing. Well done, Bethany. But I feel like everyone got that there. Parts only come in 3 colours. That's quite the giveaway, isn't it? Is that what all kind of triggered your memory?
For sure. Yeah.
Yes.
The other clues I had were this part isn't your typical brick. It's included in certain sets and not others. No one really knows what Lego's criteria is for including. Like sometimes it'll be in a $20 set, sometimes it'll be in 100. Like no one really knows.
Do any of you guys have the ultra rare green modern brick separator?
I do.
Wow, Bethany.
Which set did you get it from? Because there's the train and the Palace Cinema, right?
Yeah, I have no idea. We get a lot of bulk Lego, and so it was just in a
Hmm.
giant tub of stuff
What?
somebody gave us. Yeah.
Wow.
That's so cool. I had the Palace Cinema back in the day, and I don't know where my green brick separator is, but I didn't throw it out, so it is somewhere in my home. I should look for it
It's probably at the bottom of a big box of
Yeah.
Lego bricks, isn't it?
for sure.
Okay. And then the final clue was going to be you probably have this lying around somewhere in your room, but you can never find it when you need it. So I'm sure everyone's had that experience, right? Unless you're
Yes.
like Evan and you have them prepared.
They're like everywhere.
I think I have one in every room. Like, I know I have one in our truck as well. No reason why it would be there, but
To fix your car with a brick separator.
yeah, when you're building on the go.
It can fix absolutely anything with brick separator, unless it breaks first.
You just said build on the go. I just saw a reel the other day of someone that was like, oh, how to pass your time on an airplane. And they're like dumping out and building a Lego set on the plane. And I'm like, that is crazy. Like, where do the pieces go? Like, how do you even, what if you hit turbulence?
That's the key thing. Like I'm just waiting for one bounce, or the person who's got the seat in front is like, "Oh, nap time, recline."
Oh, totally. Okay, brilliant. So some fun facts about this part is you can use this part very creatively as well in mocks. So we've done quite a lot of posts from the blog. I've done, I think, 3 by now as well. And you can use it as wings of a Lego X-Wing, the iconic Lego duck beak. You could turn it upside down for roofs. You could use it as a treadmill. The list goes on and on. It really just depends how creative you are, how you want to use this piece. Because it's got a really nice, unique shape, nice textured back, and it comes in some bright colours as well. Fantastic. Let's move on then to our second part because we all got that very quickly. I wonder if any of our listeners at home, though, got it on the first guess. I'd be very impressed if they did. Okay, so our second part now. First clue is, it's widely in use today, but it was released back in 1998 as part of the Scala theme. Any guesses based off that? Anyone want to buzz in?
The umbrella?
Not the umbrella, but good guess. That was a very prominent part in the Scala theme.
I don't know. I think I'm going to withhold my guess. Not that I get anything for it, but
I have a Scala set in my bulk stuff that somebody gave me, and I'm thinking through all the parts. But you said iconic? What was the clue again?
I said it's widely in use today.
I think it's going to be like a wall panel. I'm going to retain my guess.
Okay, so not going to submit.
Nobody else heard that.
Okay.
Well, no. After you say that, let's guess a wall panel for 200, Alex.
what size wall panel?
Oh,
I'm afraid, Clay, it doesn't matter because it's not a wall panel.
Good to know. So we don't have to guess through every size.
We're not going to go through it. I'm not going to put you through the pain, Bethany, of
Thank
trying
you.
to think and then me just going, no, it's not. Okay. Okay, let's head off to our second clue then. So this part has an untraditional, unique shape. In fact, I would say there's no other Lego part that quite has this exact shape. And Bethany's eyes tell all that she is not quite sure what I mean by that clue.
I have no idea.
It's thinking like some type of arching brick. I was
No.
thinking like the that classic half arch
Mm.
that's really popular. I don't know if that came out with Scala though. That doesn't seem like a. Oh. Is it a door?
Incorrect. Not a door. You can't guess anymore for this round.
Oh, I only get two?
No, sorry, you can't guess
Per
anymore for this clue.
Oh, okay.
I think we have one guess per clue. Otherwise, you could just rapid fire, you know?
Yeah, that's
We
fair,
enable
that's
that. Any other guesses? Bethany, Clay, what are we thinking? Unique shape.
Right? I'm trying to think of like more organic shape, so I'm thinking of plant or food right now is where I'm getting really hung up on. Because I'm just trying to think of it like not being a single stud or a circle or a square, but like what's a strange organic shape that's still in use?
But Bethany, go ahead.
It's not the watering can because that was introduced.
Are you
there.
saying this is your guess? Because I'm not hearing any buzzes.
No, I am not. I am just thinking out loud. That is not my
Wait,
guess.
we get one per
Yeah.
clue.
Hey!
Go on, Clay, what is it?
I'm gonna guess it's the watering can.
No, it's not. But I love how you just blatantly stole that from Bethany.
I don't know where I got that idea, but you know, it's just such an organic
What spark
shape.
of brilliance, you know? Like, I'm not sure where that would have come from. Unfortunately, it's wrong though, so nice try.
Wow. So I stole something and got it wrong.
That's what you get for stealing my stuff.
Let this be a lesson to all of you out there listening. Okay, so moving on to clue 3. We have done a Favourite Brick Friday of this part. So Favourite Brick Friday is where we look at one part and we show a bunch of different uses outside its traditional use. And the unique uses have ranged everywhere from cheese gratings to straw roofs to saxophones and greebling.
Hey!
No, wait.
Clay,
No, wait.
what are you buzzing in?
I was buzzing in, but then I lost it.
As in you had it and then it went out of your brain, or I said something and it made
No,
you
you
think
said
it's not
cheese
that?
grater, and I was thinking I could visualize the cheese grater mock that we featured, but then I realized I
Oh,
couldn't.
I hope you're not looking up that post right now, Clay.
I know I'm not. Evan's eyes are real suspicious.
What?
Keep your hands where I can
Um,
see them, Evan. I don't want to see them on the keyboard.
I'm like sitting so far back from my computer. Thinking of like when you said food, like the chicken wing, but now I'm trying to see how a chicken wing could become a cheese grater.
Well, no. So as I said cheese gratings,
Oh.
not cheese grater.
Oh.
Cheese gratings.
For those of us who were waiting patiently, give the clue.
So, you're a star pupil, aren't you, Bethany? I will repeat it for you. So, we've done a Favourite Brick Friday of this part, and unique uses have ranged from cheese gratings to straw roofs, from saxophones to greebling. Any guesses?
Hey!
Have you already had your no, you oh,
I buzzed in, but I never
okay, but I don't
guessed.
think you can buzz in and then not you.
I agree with you. I'm really testing every boundary in this game
I,
today.
I feel like you may have it right as well, Clay, so I'm going to purposefully make you wait because you've cheated. So, Bethany, go ahead.
Is it the claw piece?
Which claw are you thinking of?
The one that has 1x2 plate on it and then it has like the 3 fingers that come out?
The modified plate with claw, it's used as the roofing on Aisha's cottage.
And I've seen it used as food things, but a saxophone.
But that
Hmm.
piece is newer. I don't think that was back in
Yeah.
Yeah,
Scala.
that's true. It's too new. A saxophone. See, that's the one that throws me.
I'm afraid it's a very good guess, but it's not that, Bethany.
Is it a fish?
It is not a fish.
I was thinking of the clarinet from Lego Masters that Kelly Bartlett and Emily did. That was like, they had so much
Hmm.
NPU on it, and one of them was a little silverfish.
It's a great part. It's not the part.
Oh my God.
We're going to move on to our fourth clue. Okay. I feel like this one, I feel like hands to buzzers, everyone. Okay. Are you ready?
I'm
Okay.
ready.
Fourth clue. Monkeys and minions are big fans of this part. Evan,
Banana, na, 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 na.
correct. It is the banana piece.
Banana.
And I purposely left out any mention of yellow because if I'd said yellow, you guys would have got this instantly. It's the bright yellow banana piece. And in fact, actually 90% of its inclusions in sets have been in yellow, but it now appears in 11 colors.
Oh.
Wow.
I've got one sitting right here. Like they're using it in the Avatar sets for the
Hmm.
seascapes, and they threw them in the new 3-in-1 sea creatures. What are the other colors?
So, from the unique uses I mentioned earlier, I think we had it in dark grey for some kind of stone greebling. We had it in pearl gold for a saxophone. It was actually kind of the mouthpiece, I think. But for both the cheese gratings and the straw roof, that was in yellow.
The scale of that banana has always been so huge for minifigs, and now knowing what theme it was
Mm.
introduced in, it all makes such sense.
Yeah, because those Scala sets they're probably like 2, 3 times the height of minifigures,
Yeah,
right?
they're pretty
They're,
large.
more like dolls, really, for girls to play around
Exactly.
with. Yeah.
What set was the banana gray in for Greebling? I've never seen that before.
It's been in 2 sets. It's in the Batman animated series
Mm.
Gotham City, the new one. And then the Corvette. I believe it's in the bumper
Ah.
of the
Oh.
Corvette.
Fantastic. So that brings us to the end of Guess That Part. We're really interested in how you got on at home. So let us know. We're going to have a post up on our Instagram page, Tips and Bricks. It'll be the announcement post for this episode where you can go and let us know how many guesses it took you to get the 2 parts that we discussed today. Okay, so now let's move on to our next segment.
Well, our next segment today is the blog post recap. In this segment, we are going to take a look back at some of our recent Tips and Bricks posts, talk through a few that we want to highlight, maybe point out some fun things. We also encourage you to watch for the month in review posts at the end of each month and sign up for our newsletter because we do a weekly recap. So that way you're not going to miss any of our posts. You're not like contained to an algorithm. You can get our posts directly to your inbox. So the first one I wanted to bring up is actually a technique analysis, post 2384, The Mediterranean Way by Koala Yummies. I love that name. It is this beautiful Mediterranean home. It's got a 2-story building adjacent to a 3-story building. All sorts of great NPU on this, from boomerangs to cow horns. I love the rounded part that they use for the roofing. But I wanted to ask Evan, Clay, Alex, was there anything that stood out to you about the techniques that were used here, especially the roof techniques?
Yes, I love this build, and the post that Ben put together really showed off all those intricate details that you kind of described already. But this just fits perfectly into any Lego city. It's a corner modular. It has two-toned buildings where you get this tall white one with the tan and gray and sand green beside it. So I think this would look gorgeous in any city, and I agree with you that the roof techniques are what really sells it and gives it that Mediterranean vibe like it has in the title of the mock.
For me, what really sells this is actually the greenery and the vine work. I've been seeing more and more Lego mock artists using those vine techniques with the three-pronged leaf to go up a building and cluster them together. And it's so effective. And what I like about this one is they add in pops of pink and orange, and there's also magenta leaves. And it just adds this really nice vibrance, especially against the more neutral tone of the building. So I also didn't know that the hood piece could fit under that 1x6 arch.
Only with the certain arch, though, as those molds continue to change over time.
Oh,
I feel
true,
like
true.
Lego sometimes is making these slight differences in ways that are helpful. I know that not every mold variation is some that people love, but this one in particular, I feel like the underside of that arch fitting perfectly with the curve of the hood was something intentional.
Well, Clay, that's actually like the perfect segue for my next post because the next one I wanted to talk about, it's the beginner series posts that we launched. Evan and I are working on these, and I'm personally loving them because I feel like we're able to go back to the basics and like explain the theory of building from a very basic level. So it's helping fill in all those gaps and things that we just kind of don't realize as we go along in the hobby. But post 2412 is the lesson 3. It's on best practices. We talked about illegal techniques. And one of those illegal techniques has to do with the mold change, Clay, that you mentioned, when they changed up that 2x2 plated snot brick. I don't know an easier name for it because it no longer can fit two side by side into a 2x2 brick. But I wanted to ask you guys, illegal techniques, how do you feel about them? Do you use them? And do you feel that it's okay to have these illegal techniques?
Firstly, I just love the topic of illegal techniques. Or whenever we post about it, the posts always are very popular because people go, "What could be illegal about building with Lego?" And yeah, there's nothing actually illegal, but it refers to putting bricks under stress, and it might mean that they deform if they're put under stress for a long period of time. Lego designers will often avoid those techniques. I personally, I probably would avoid using illegal techniques. It really depends how much stress is being put on the bricks. If it's something like, there's a really great tree technique actually where you can weave 6x5 leaf pieces together. They're quite flexible bricks already, but causes some deformation. Generally, you can flex them, they'll be fine again. But if it's anything where you're putting some pressure, say on minifigure parts, minifigures can be a bit rarer and a bit more expensive. I would probably avoid that because I'm quite precious about my minifigures and parts in general. So that's my perspective on illegal techniques.
I don't know. I kind of have the opposite opinion, Alex. Like, I totally understand what you're saying, and for you to respect your own bricks, go for it. But, like, I mean, if they're our bricks, we get to do what we want with them. And I guess that's where I'm aligning with some of the comments of people, how they feel that way. But part of it is also because I love building with physical bricks, so I'm often just testing out random connections and things that aren't exact, and I have to continue to play around with it. So there are times where, sure, I've broken bricks before. Sure, I've done techniques that you would never ever find in a Lego set. But to me, that's also part of the joy of finding it by discovery, like testing out things, and they're not great, they don't work well, but they end up looking okay, or they teach me, okay, this is not something I can do. Let's go back to the basics on this one.
Mm. I would ask Clay, do you think there's a difference then? If you break a brick because you're like experimenting with a new technique and it snaps, whatever, is there a difference if you have like, say, brown bricks, which might break because I think they had a production issue? If, say, one of those kind of broke apart using a more classic technique, is there a difference for you? Do you just go, oh, never mind, they're bricks, I can get more bricks?
That's how I feel, honestly. Yeah. I, yeah. And I mean, I believe Evan actually made the post before of the brittle brown bricks as like a favorite brick Friday, and I loved seeing that. And even in some of my builds, I have like yellowed, ugly, broken, not quite beautiful bricks that I think kind of adds to the whole picture of it.
See, I was with you, Clay, until this last thing you just said, because I think that if I was to break my own brick, I'd be like, oh, it happens, no big deal. But if a piece breaks because it was poorly manufactured, I'm like, what the heck? How dare they give me this broken piece, even though maybe I was doing something inappropriate? Like,
Yeah, so I took the pictures for this post, so I had to put some of them. I actually split a 1x2 brick on the side. I actually cracked it, and so I had to like make sure it was not ever facing when I took the pictures. it is, if you've only got like 2 of that color and you crack it, it's bad. But it's also your bricks to do with as you want. So
Speaking of cracking, have you all ever experienced a hairline fracture in a minifigure? Because I see
Oh, yeah.
people say that that happens, and I've been collecting Lego since like the 2000s. I've actually never seen that happen to me before. And I'm like, what are you guys doing with your minifigures to make them crack?
Popping arms and in and out
Why are you popping out the arms?
to swap them. This is another illegal technique.
That is one that I actually do, Clay, though, because I do like customizing my minifigures. So I will pop out the arms. Yeah, it always pains me when I see a crack, even if it's not that visible. Oh,
I've had cracks on the torso, on the
Yes.
side. I've had cracks on the legs, so
The
not
ribs.
like up by the hips where you might like pop them off, but like where the legs connect to studs, like it's cracked there.
Oh, yes.
I've had some weird cracks, but I also have a lot of like our Lego collection goes all the way back to the 1970s. So I've got some old stuff that I feel like just the natural aging of life it causes it to break.
I encounter them often in some of the Facebook hauls I get, and I'm sure Bricklink sellers would tell you all about Iron Man torsos, I believe, are some of the most crackable. So it's more common than you'd think. I guess you're just treating your parts with care, Evan. Unlike the rest of us.
All right, well, I'm going to turn it over now to Evan.
Let's head on to our next segment. I am so excited to host our next game today, which is Make It, Mod It, Mock It. So in this game, we're going to discuss 3 Lego sets, but there's a catch. We have to each place the sets into 3 separate categories of make, mod, or mock. To explain, Make It is a set that we would build and keep just as is. Mod It means that we would have to mostly build the set, but we'd want to customize it, upgrade, or modify it in some way. Lastly, to mock it, it's a set that we would use mainly for parts to make our own creations. So we're going to talk through our rationale for each set. And also, if you want to play along at home, let us know if you think we got our lists right or if we're way off base. So the first set that I've got for us today is the Mona Lisa. Bethany, can you tell us about the Mona Lisa?
No.
Who is she?
Who is she?
I don't know her.
She is a mysterious woman. So the Mona Lisa is the latest iteration of the Lego art line. It features a beautiful 2D background and then kind of like a fake 2D, 3D add-on of Alex, you cannot laugh. Sorry, everybody. So here's the inside scoop, everybody. This set makes us giggle. It just hits that uncanny valley where it looks real, but it's not right. So that would be my introduction to the post. It has a beautiful gold frame, but the face is not how I don't the face. The face is
We'll
the
get
face.
into it, I'm sure.
There you go, Evan.
Yeah, I mean, just so for a broader introduction, it's a painting created in the Renaissance time by Leonardo da Vinci. So that is the first set. The second set that we are going to have to talk about today is a Ninjago set. It is Ornament Temple City. Alex, can you tell us about this set?
Yeah, so this set is part of the latest Ninjago wave. It's around 3,000 parts, just over, and around 250 USD. It's a really nice design. My eyes are immediately drawn to the rockwork at the start. But on top of that is a really beautiful temple, and we've got some builds either side. We've got a water wheel, we've got a really nice red ornate bridge, which is typical of Ninjago sets. But we've got a fantastic array of minifigures as well. And overall, it's just a really beautiful set. You can tell a lot of love and attention has been put into this, and I'm sure Ninjago fans everywhere are going to really love this set.
I'm excited to talk about this set, especially what you just mentioned at the beginning, which is the rock work. I think this is potentially the best rock work I've seen in the Lego set so far. Before we talk about that, I'm going to introduce our third set, which is the Great Deku Tree 2-in-1, our first ever Legend of Zelda set play. Can you tell us about this set?
Oh, yes. I'm sure everyone listening is already familiar with this one because I feel like we've been waiting for it for years. But this is, as Evan said, a 2-in-1. So we see a Deku Tree in two forms, both from Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild and from Ocarina of Time. We got 4 incredible minifigures with it, and there's a large Deku Tree as the main structure. It's on a beautiful built plate with trees, and then depending on which of the 2-in-1 versions you have, there may be some water features, some creatures, and even the leaves of the Deku Tree will change as well. And this set retails right at 300 USD and is 2,500 pieces on the nose.
I think we'll definitely be talking about that price a little bit when we get into this. But with these 3 sets in mind, it's now your task to put one set into each category. So, which set will you make? Which will you mod? And which will you mock? Alex, what's the set that you would make?
This is a hard one for me. I'm pulled between two. It's not going to be the Mona Lisa for me. We'll get into that later. I think make-wise, it's going to be the Zelda set. I think for me, even though it comes with that high price point, which I'm sure we'll discuss, I think one of the 2-in-1s is better than the other, which is a bit more full. The minifigures are gorgeous. I think it looks like an amazing display piece. So that's the one that I would make. I think it's just an absolute love letter to Legend of Zelda fans. Evan, have you got the price per part for this set? Because I don't think it's great. That's my only drawback.
12 cents on the dot. It's not great.
But it's a licensed theme. Like, that plays a tiny role.
Something else you have to keep in mind, though, with this price per part is that you're not actually using all the parts. So the amount of set you can actually display is actually higher than 12 cents per part. You're actually probably looking closer at 15.
Not an argument I would have thought of, but that does make sense because we can see how some are reused, but not every part is reused across both versions.
Mm-hmm. Bethany, do you agree with Alex? Would you classify the set as a make it?
Oh, for sure. We've already pre-ordered it. Hands down, for sure.
Clay?
This is not my make it. Which, to Alex's point, it is a beautiful display piece, and I think it was designed with that in mind, even though there are some play features. This one, to me, is clearly targeted at an adult audience with the idea that it will be used as a display piece in the home. I am not a Zelda fan to the degree that I would necessarily display such in my home. This is not the one that I would have opted for my make.
Interesting.
Yeah, I agree with you, Clay. I think if you look past the Zelda part, I think it is very pretty objectively, but for a much smaller price point, you have the Horizon Zero Dawn set that is, I think, twice as beautiful for a fraction of the price. But Bethany, you seemed very passionate about making this set. So you have pre-ordered it already for the price of $300. So
yeah, that was before our stove broke. And then I had to adult. I have regrets. I don't have regrets.
You can eat off the Zelda box, okay?
That is right. We can burn the Zelda box for fuel and pizza. Yeah, we ordered it. My husband and teens play Zelda all the time. Like, they talk Zelda, they watch YouTube Zelda. I don't know Zelda, but I love beautiful builds. And to me, this build is a win-win because it hits all those Easter egg fun nods to those who are deep into the theme, and then it looks pretty. Like, it's not chaotic, it's very clear in what it is. I love the coloring, and I feel that in a room, it makes a beautiful statement piece.
yeah, the minifigures are top tier, utterly top tier. I think that there's no critiques when it comes to that. And them alone, I can't even imagine on the secondary market what Link is going to be going for.
I just think another interesting point about the price here is I feel like Lego are testing out the market here. They often do this. It's a very popular IP, Legend of Zelda. It's the first set. Hopefully we'll get other ones. 300 is expensive, but I feel like they've put it at that price because they want to see how many people buy it. And from Bethany pre-ordering it, I feel like so many other people will have done. They'll be able to see from who has pre-ordered it. They will know, and I feel like they just can charge this much for those adult price sets.
Well, Clay, you said that you would not make this set. Where did you put this set?
So for this set, I actually classified as my mock-it. And I know that may be a surprise, but we've talked about how beautiful these minifigures are. And to me, I would be happy to use these minifigures in any type of build, creating a small scene. having access to these really cool parts. There's beautiful of the trunks, the leaves. I love the three-pronged leaf and the light nougat. There's incredible greens, blues, some tans, olive greens. So these are tones that I would be happy to use in creating some trees of my own to add to a Lego city. And then I could take the minifigs and also these incredible prints, which are all throughout the set, and kind of put them into anything that I want to build.
I actually completely agree with you, Clay. I think that this set was also under my market, but maybe for a slightly different reason. I like that you took the market side as more, how can I use these parts? For me, I was like, this is my least favorite build, trash. So it just
Oh.
goes on the market side.
Sorry, did Evan just say this is his least favourite build when we've got the Mona Lisa?
It is. It
We have
is.
words coming, Evan. We have words coming.
I think I might need to tell your boss who works at a gallery because I don't think he's going to want to hire you.
So actually, this may come as a surprise, but my make is the Mona Lisa. And here's my rationale. I just need to see this in person. I just need to make this because it is so unbelievably cursed that for me, it like circles back around to iconic. And I feel like this is a display piece for years to come. I have a slight feeling too that in person it won't be as bad or maybe worse. I would die to review this set.
This is your pitch to me, isn't it? You want to review this set. You can't tell which way you're going to swing. I feel like you'll get this set in person though.
And 25 out of 25.
Just don't let him review the Deku tree or
Yeah.
we'll get our account reported.
This brings up a fair point because there are definitely sets where I've been like, that's fine. Or, I wouldn't done. And then I see it in person and I'm like, oh, this blew my mind. So I agree with you, Evan. Maybe it'll be different in person.
I wonder what our listeners think as well. But it could be in the team. We are, we've talked about this set a lot. We're not big fans, but, let us know. Do you think Lego Mona Lisa is cursed? The question is out
What
there
a
for you to
leading
answer.
question. What a leading question.
Okay.
Yeah, come on. Do you think the Lego Mona Lisa is beautiful?
That's flipping it the other way, Evan. Can we have a neutral question?
My answer to both of those is yes, because if we look at this build, the frame on this, phenomenal. The background colors, the way that they give the shadings and the mountains, beautiful. The colors that they captured of her hair, her bodice, iconic. What are you laughing at, Evan?
I'm laughing. I just saw Lego just has like a close-up image of her face, and it's just so funny.
There's one thing she's leaving out.
It's the lack of eyebrows. I described everything but her face.
Well, the Mona Lisa, she doesn't really have that noticeable eyebrows. I could forgive that. It's
the prints, isn't it? They made special prints, but they're like Legofied, right?
You know what? I want to see how the Mona Lisa would look with the same parts but remove the prints and maybe just having like that flush. It might be even scarier to have like a faceless Mona Lisa, but maybe if you just have like slightly darker pieces under the brow bone for the eyes and maybe a slightly darker nougat mouth, maybe that will read more abstract and that would kind of help.
Well, a lot of the reasons y'all are talking through are exactly why I put this in my Moddit. Because like you said, Bethany, the frame and the background is there. And you could even leave her body and just like, what if you created a wild, like a cat head to put on it instead? And just change the colors, make a different head on top of it, or even remove the whole body and leave the background, create a UFO or a minifigure running toward the foreground.
I want to see Tuxedo Cat on the face of the Mona Lisa so bad now.
I love how, Clay, your whole logic behind this is you want to just take the Mona Lisa set and take out the Mona Lisa. You're like, I love everything apart from the Mona Lisa. Get rid of it and put a UFO there,
Yeah.
I mean, the frame is nice, right? We can all agree with that.
There's a lot of good Lego art sets with frames, though.
Yes.
Clay, if you would mock the Great Deku Tree, mod the Mona Lisa, why would you then make the Tournament Temple City?
I think the Tournament Temple City is beautiful. The rockwork is gorgeous. I have the Spring Lantern Festival in my own city, so there would be almost like a through line from that to this. And I also love the height and kind of how it's laid out. There's these nice angles to it, that bridge, there's a little blacksmith forge. So there's all these beautiful little details that I'm sure they could be modded or adjusted to fit in something. But just as a standalone piece, like I think this set is gorgeous as is.
Bethany, do you agree? You said you would make the Legend of Zelda set. So where did this set classify for you?
This is definitely like this was the first one I knew the answer to. This is modded right away because we are huge Ninjago City fans. So we have all four of the city modulars. I got to do the review for the Ninjago City Markets. That's post 2353, 2356. Love it. But I don't know how to incorporate this with that Ninjago cityscape thing. Like I've seen people like put the temple like up high if they display it all together, but I feel like I could easily mod this into some sort of buildings around it.
Alex, is this also a mod it for you?
It is, and that is partially because that Mona Lisa is just going straight in my muck pile. I don't have time for that. But also, I was thinking along the lines of Bethany, actually. I think this would be very good potential for modding. Just playing around with all the different parts here, you've got such a beautiful palette. You could really do something nice with this, and I love the idea of making it into like a modular. I actually think, because a lot of the Ninjago cities have like a really good, nice waterway. This could be like the entrance to the waterway because you've got that archway underneath. So I think what I would do is extend that archway and make it bigger so you can have some ships passing through it. So you could have the Destiny's Bounty going through the archway, and that would be your entrance into Ninjago City.
Yeah, I love that. I would also mod this set too, maybe in a different way than you guys would, because I'm not so much of an Ninjago fan, but I just love that rock work. And you can really just change around the building just to have, you could have a medieval building on this and it would just fit perfectly at home. And I really hope that Lego does more of this. At a similar time, they revealed the new Hogwarts castle, and just comparing the rock work, it like makes the Hogwarts castle look like such a cheap set in comparison. I really hope that all design teams take this direction.
One other thing I want to point out that I love in this set is how we continue to get garage doors in all sorts of colors. So there's a small little dark brown building that has dark blue garage doors that are just laid in this beautiful little arch and create an incredible roof. And I feel like Ninjago has incredible roofs everywhere, but that one particularly stuck out to me where I'm like, oh no, a dark blue garage door would be cool in my collection, but I don't think I could ever use it better than the designers already have done in this set.
I see what you mean, Clay. Oh, that is amazing. That is a technique I haven't seen before.
Even that, and I know we keep talking about the rock work, but there's so much of this set that feels to me like a mock already.
Yeah, totally. They have that rock panel piece and the 2x4x6 rock panel, both normally faced up, but also face down. And I think having it both ways really just creates this more organic landscape. So this was an awesome round of Make It, Mod It, Mock It. So if you think that we got our choices right or wrong, we want to hear your opinions too. So share with us which sets that you would have made or modded or mocked. And let us know in the future what sets you'd like to hear us debate about for Make It, Mod It, Mock It. And now on to our final segment, our discussion question with Clay.
All right, so let's move into our next segment, which is the question of the week. So each episode on the podcast, we're going to share some type of burning question we have related to Lego, and we'll answer it together. We also, of course, want to hear what you, our listeners, have to say as well. So continue the conversation with us at Tips and Bricks, or even hop into our Patreon Discord, where you can engage with a question of the week every week there as well. So this week, we're tackling a question that might be a little bit dangerous. We know that the LEGO community is made up of all sorts of people, which means we have all sorts of different opinions. For example, someone may think the Mona Lisa is beautiful. We have not yet found that person, but that person may exist. So, to dig into some of our opinions that, might be off the beaten path, or that every AFOL may not share, we've prepared a question of the week where we are going to share some opinions that not all of us may agree upon. So this week, our question of the week is, what's a controversial LEGO opinion that you have?
I feel like, firstly, as well, our listeners, they should vote for what they think is the most controversial opinion. Of the four of us, we'll get a poll going, and they've got to vote. So I guess I'll go first as I've started talking. This one is a very personal opinion. I recently just graduated from university. I'm living in quite a small flat in London. I don't have much space to display Lego sets, but I've always been someone who just loves getting multiple sets with so many minifigures, rather than those big sets. The big sets I'm talking about the Eiffel Tower, I'm talking about the Ultimate Collector Series 8080. For me, those are just too big, both too big to display, but also the money I'm dropping on those just does not make sense to me. I would rather spread out my money, maybe buy a Ninjago set, buy a Monkey Kid set, try out some different themes. And I feel like, you don't even have to spend over 100 now to get a really amazing building experience that looks great on a shelf. So that is my controversial opinion. What is everyone else's thoughts on this?
Yeah, that's what I was like. Is this controversial enough? Because I was agreeing with everything you said as we went along.
Maybe let's go with this. Sets like the Eiffel Tower and Ultimate Collector Series 8080, they're too big. No one wants them that big. Make them smaller. That's my controversial opinion.
See, when you said big sets, I was honestly not even thinking that big. I was thinking like Rivendell, not even like Eiffel Tower leveled.
See, that is a set that is just on the cusp. Like, it's just slightly too expensive, but I do really love Lord of the Rings. So I'm umming and umming. I feel like I might get it and put it away, and then when I have a bigger place, I proudly display it. But right now, I just can't.
What about like Ninjago City?
It's in a box.
Oh, in the box.
Well, it's built and put back in the box. Bethany, what do you think on this? I know you buy a lot of sets. You mock
Yep.
a lot as well. Do you have any massive sets?
Yes. So we just got, again, right before our oven broke, we're like, hey, we've saved money. Good for us. Don't save money, guys. Bad things happen when you save up. Just kidding. We got Rivendell and Barad-dûr and Zelda. We were like, yes, we've saved up. Let's do it. And then our stove died literally right after we pre-ordered Barad-dûr. Anyway, doesn't matter. It's fine. So we are huge Lego Mario fans in our house, and my son loves collecting all the sets. I think that it's great because he can get like all the little Poison Center ones or all the, island ones or all the cloud top ones or the ice ones. You can kind of clump them together. I feel like there could be a happy medium between those where they stand alone, but also like the Harry Potter, like I feel like the new castle line where you're buying Owl Tower or you're buying, Evan, you'll have to help me out. I don't know the other words.
Great Hall.
Great Hall, yes. Or even just the Forbidden Forest is split so far between, I think, 3 sets if you include a polybag. I like that you can compile all of them clearly together and it looks as one whole. But I think that Rivendell and Barad-dûr were done correctly because when I looked back at the older Lord of the Rings sets, I just felt like there was so much beauty missing. Like, yes, they were inexpensive, but I feel like it would be a really hard sell to divide up Rivendell and not have like 2 halves of it not sell. Does that make sense?
Definitely.
I hear what you're saying, but I would compare it to Hogwarts, and I would say Hogwarts is a somewhat you do need the scale, but I feel like they've done a really successful job of breaking that down. And I personally would have loved to see Riverdale separately. In fact, when I first saw pictures of it, I think I saw it kind of like separated. I actually thought it was 2 sets, and I was like, oh my God, amazing. Like the pagoda is separate and it's got a little workshop area, and you connect that to the big one. I would have loved that. I would have got the pagoda, I could have got some minifigures, but not spent $300
Yeah.
or however much it was.
Yeah.
But that's
Yeah.
my opinion.
Maybe they'll do Minas Tirith that way, like because like
Or else it'll be a $1,500 set, one of the two.
right, it'll hurt so much.
All right.
All right, well, thanks for sharing that one with us, Alex. And of course, if y'all love massive sets and don't want small ones, we are happy to hear those as well. But let's move on to our next controversial opinion, which means you get to share your next opinion, Bethany, and see how many people are going to disagree with this one.
Okay, I actually feel strongly about this, and it has changed. So this is how I now feel. My hot take: Lego Mario sets are the perfect scale, and minifigs would only serve as a disservice.
Oh boy.
Before I launch into my counter argument, because I feel very strongly about this, I feel like we've been robbed. Bethany, explain your side, because I do know you do have a backstory here, and I don't want to, I'll give you a chance.
Okay, here's my reason why. when you take all the incredible creations, the Goombas, the bullet bills, like all these incredible parts, they have all been scaled to the Mario character. I think what they need to do is give us a maxi fig type thing where the legs can pose, but it's going to need to be brick built because if you put a mini fig next to all of these things, the scale, you look like something out of like the Lego movie where somebody came and brought something that doesn't belong and stuck it in there. Like the scaling has been carefully designed around something that is larger. So to put a minifig in it would look out of place and the scale would be just completely blown off.
I mean, considering how many characters and creatures they have created, I see what you mean in terms of the difficulty of scaling that down to make a Goomba fit Mario.
And they would need different part molds for all of those, wouldn't they? Like I'm thinking in the Dream
Yep.
set, they created like a new smaller figure, but you would need a new part for the Goombas, for Yoshi. Like it would be hard to brick build those and make the minifigure scale.
Or you'd use a lot of detail, yeah.
Yeah,
If we try to
yeah.
brick build them, it would almost be fully reliant on prints and probably be tough to get a lot of those shapes.
And the Goomba has been reduced down to the smallest size it possibly could be. Like
Mm.
it can't go any smaller.
See, I don't know if that's necessarily true. I think you could use smaller slope bricks to make the Goomba, but you know what? Bethany, you've kind of turned me here. I think I agree with you now because it is kind of cool that Lego has this theme where everything is at its core Lego and brick built. And we don't see that with any other theme. And the fact that it is with Mario that has this unique video game component, and Mario is such a pioneer for video games for so many children, I can kind of see your side a little bit more, but I think that Alex.
I like how deep of a breath you just took, Alex. Go ahead.
No!
Eviscerate my opinion. It's fine. You're just my boss.
Bethany, I could never do that to you. You have actually convinced me one way, but let me finish. So, I would say when they first announced the Mario line, I was disappointed. I think alongside a lot of others, no minifigures. Such classic characters, Mario, Luigi, Princess Peach, all of those, we wanted them in minifig form when we knew that Nintendo was coming. But from seeing how your family has really enjoyed the Mario line and got a lot of play out of it, I think it's actually really important that we as adults who enjoy Lego, we appreciate that a lot of these sets aren't made for us. These Mario sets are made for kids to enjoy and play with. And although we would want minifigures to make mocks with or potentially to display, that is not probably what kids would want. And I think you make some really good points that I had not thought about before in terms of the scaling, but they're really good points. They're very practically speaking, you would need so many new molds to create Mario faithfully. Whereas I think they've gone the brick built route and they have the digital figure for Mario, but everything else is brick built, as we've said. And it's really fun how you can mix and match the sets, you can make your own courses. It's got a lot to love, just not a lot that I love. Because I'm a minifigure person, I think we need a collectible minifigure series.
Oh no.
Which I think brings us on to our next topic, clay.
I was gonna say, you're stomping right on my controversial opinion already. So, speaking of collectible minifigure lines,
Dun dun dun.
I am of the opinion that we should no longer have licensed CMFs. So, minifigs, I can already see Evan getting upset about this one. The CMF line has been around for almost 15 years. We are currently in Series 26, which just released this summer, which is like the space minifigs. So over the years, we have had some licensed ones, Muppets, Looney Tunes, and a lot of these are very popular. But my concern here is these CMF lines that are going to licensed ones could instead be giving us these really cool Lego-centered original ideas. If we go back to CMF 14, it was like all Halloween themed and had these cool costumes, scary minifigs. 26 is space, and I feel like it's so popular because it's not just this singular space fig with 11 other random ones like a goat herder, but we have clear focus that lets Lego lean into original ideas and gives us so much more variety of figures. I would love us to keep those licensed themes in their own sets, give us tiny little builds of things. I would take Beast and Storm and Wolverine in a $20 set that's like a little vignette of the X-Mansion, and just keep it with Lego original ideas for all collectible minifigure lines. Evan, you've had the strongest facial expressions, so let's hear you come back at this one first.
I could not disagree with you more. In fact, I think I have a bonus controversial opinion, which is the exact opposite of your controversial opinion, which is I think that there should be no classic Lego themed CMFs and only license themed CMFs. Because kind of the reason that you said, I think that it would be better to have several space sets that create a diorama that have all these space minifigures. And then you could save the license themes where you really need some of these more detailed figures or figures that you would never get in a regular set, that they're just too obscure to put in a licensed themed set, and instead give us the opportunity to get 12 figures we wouldn't have had before.
I love that Evan has just taken Clay's idea and just flipped it around completely. Oh,
The fact that we wouldn't get an obscure licensed one, though, like that exact same rule applies to the opposite. When are we going to get Orion as a minifigure in a set? The goat herder, sure, that one's one that'll show up, but even that mushroom cap, or we had an Olympian, and sure, these are things that could potentially show up in sets, but I find it so unlikely that we'll get things like an Olympian, a barbarian, without it being in these themes or sets that LEGO just throws at us every year.
Then Lego needs to step it up.
oh.
Controversial opinion 5.
Clay, I'm with you. Like,
Oh,
I agree because I feel like creativity is being limited, and I feel like the licensed ones can easily fit all together in a set, no hunting for them. I feel like that is a better way to go for licensed things. Because you're right, when else are we going to get a banana guy? Like, well, maybe with a food cart, but the little mushroom fairy sprite and then the acorn headed traveler with the cape, those are not coming in sets. And so this is like the only way that Lego is made for them to appear. So I'm with you.
See, I think that you could actually include some of those figures in sets, and
But they're not doing it. So your vote doesn't count.
because of the CMFs. The CMFs are limiting and they're constricting the designers to have to think narrow.
Evan, no, I want to be on your side here. Evan,
I'm just grasping.
I really want to be on your side here, Evan. And at the start, I was on the side of I love license CMF lines because I'm a big Marvel fan. And I know you're a big Disney fan. And I know we've only got minifigures like Stitch through the line. So I can see where your passion is. But I just think you're living in Cloud Cuckoo Land. Those lines are not limiting the sets. Lego is slowly dipping their toes into more retro themes like the castle. We need them to go all in with some other sets that break away from those, but we're not getting those yet. And I feel like until we do, the CMF line is a good place to do that. The one other point I would make is, Clay, you said, they do a huge variety, but I actually think they've done quite a few repeats in quite a few of the
Yeah.
years. So I do actually think they are running out of ideas unless they do a specific line like space. Obviously, they could
Yeah.
do so many different ones in that. They need to create more themed ones. I think when they do just general ones, we often get repeats.
And I think we would have space for that if there were 3 non-licensed ones per year versus some years we've gotten 2 licensed and a single Lego original one.
You know what, Clay? I have no argument against what you just said. That was a very strong counterpoint.
All right. Well, thank y'all for sharing your controversial answers. I know that sometimes this can put us in the line of fire, but of course, this is all for fun, and I loved hearing y'all convince me for some of your opinions that I was not fully sold on at first. So, if any of y'all listening have your own controversial opinions to share, or of course want to respond to what we said as well, we want to hear those, and we would love y'all to vote for which of these were most controversial.
Okay, so that is it for this episode. Until next time, continue the conversation with us over on our Instagram page, Tips and Bricks, and we've also set up a new YouTube channel where we'll be posting these episodes, and you can go comment there. You can join us on Patreon, where you can access a Discord server and chat with all of the team members, including us four, and you can check out our website where you can look at all of our daily posts.
And please join Clay and me for the next episode with our special guest, Evo, who is a Lord of the Rings super guru. It's going to be so much fun. Games, discussion, and I'm sure Lord of the Rings will be a big feature. Until then, if you've enjoyed today's episode, we would also love you to rate and review us on your favorite podcast app. It really helps other AFOLs and other listeners be able to find us.
Until next time, I'm Alex with Bethany, Clay, and Evan signing off. Happy building, everyone.